Today, I'm going to reveal 3 clear signs a woman shows when the spark of desire is already burning inside her. But stay with me until the third one, because that's the signal that happens right in front of everyone, and yet almost no man notices it at the right moment. Before we get into the signs, there's something important you need to understand. If you feel like you've missed moments like this in the past, it wasn't because you were too slow, insecure, or lacking charm. The real reason is simple. No one ever taught you the language of female desire. And that language is very different from a man's. A man usually feels desire and acts directly. A woman feels desire and starts to test. She creates context, she opens doors, but she rarely walks through them alone. Instead, she waits to see if you'll step through with her. Evolutionary psychology explains this clearly. For thousands of years, women had to be certain before opening up to someone, not because they were too selective, but because their survival often depended on it. That instinct is still deeply wired into the female subconscious today. That's why when a woman feels desire, she doesn't shout, she whispers. And these 3 signs are exactly those whispers. Sign number 1, comfortable physical proximity. The first sign is when she starts touching you without really needing to. This goes beyond casual or accidental contact. What matters is the quality of the touch. She doesn't need to touch your arm while telling a story. She doesn't need to gently push you when laughing at a joke. But she does it anyway, often without even realizing it. Neuroscience refers to this as initiation contact. When a woman's desire is activated, her nervous system naturally seeks to confirm the physical presence of the person she's attracted to. Touch becomes a subtle way of saying, I want to close the distance between us. In real life, you'll notice it like this. She touches you and doesn't pull away immediately. Instead, she lets the contact linger just a second longer than necessary. And that extra second means everything. It's her body speaking before her words do. If this is already making sense to you, take a second to like the video. It helps keep this kind of content coming. But there's another layer here that most men completely miss. It's not just the touch that matters, it's the timing and the comfort around it. When a woman touches you naturally during a conversation, she's also testing emotional safety. She's watching how you respond. Do you tense up, panic, pull away awkwardly, or do you stay calm and relaxed, as if that closeness is the most natural thing in the world? Your reaction matters more than the touch itself. A calm response signals confidence and emotional stability. And emotional stability is incredibly attractive, because when a woman feels safe around a man, her mind begins to relax. And when the mind relaxes, attraction has room to grow. Sign number 2, intense eye contact and focus. Now let's move to the second sign. The quality of her gaze starts to change. Everyone has heard about eye contact, but very few people truly understand what it looks like in practice. When a woman feels desire, her pupils may subtly dilate. This happens automatically as part of the body's response to attraction. She also begins to hold eye contact longer than what's socially normal, and when she looks away, she often looks down, not to the side. That downward glance is a micro-expression of receptiveness that has been studied in nonverbal psychology for decades. She doesn't consciously think about doing it. It just happens. You'll start to notice a pattern. She looks at you, gives a slight smile, looks down, and then lifts her eyes to meet yours again. This cycle tends to repeat. It's almost like she's silently saying, I see you, and I like what I see. But again, something deeper is happening beneath the surface. Eye contact is one of the strongest emotional connections between two people. When a woman holds your gaze longer, she's creating intimacy, often without realizing it. And intimacy doesn't always start with touch. Many times it begins in a quiet moment, when two people simply look at each other for just a little longer than usual. That small pause creates emotional tension. And emotional tension is exactly where attraction begins to grow. You might also notice a rhythm in her attention. She looks at you, quickly looks away, then looks back again. This isn't random. Psychologists call this the push-pull dynamic. Her mind is exploring attraction while still protecting her vulnerability. In simple terms, she's interested, but she's still observing you, and your calmness in that moment says a lot about who you are. Sign number 3, emotional openness and creating privacy. Now we get to the third sign, the one most men completely overlook. She starts creating privacy where there wasn't any before. Here's what that looks like in real life. You're in a social setting, surrounded by people, and suddenly she finds a way to isolate the interaction. She might suggest grabbing a drink together, pull you aside to show you something, or lower her voice as if she's about to share a secret. None of this is random. There's intention behind it. The psychology of desire shows that before a woman opens up physically, she first needs to create a space of emotional and environmental safety. Privacy creates that space. When she moves the interaction away from the crowd, she's essentially creating a small world where, for a moment, it's just the two of you. And that moment becomes powerful, because attraction grows faster in intimate settings than in loud, social environments. Many men misinterpret this moment completely. They assume it's random or meaningless, but in reality, it's often a subtle invitation. She's giving the interaction a chance to deepen. She wants to see if you recognize the opportunity. If you respond with presence, calmness, confidence, and genuine attention, the connection can grow much stronger, very quickly. The mistake most men make. Here's the most important thing you need to understand about these 3 signs. None of them appear alone. Attraction is rarely communicated through a single signal. Instead, it shows up as a pattern, a combination of small behaviors that, together, send a clear message. Touch, eye contact, emotional openness. When you start recognizing the pattern instead of looking for just one sign, everything changes.